Dolphins fans, I am Will Scott. Welcome in to Miami Dolphins Today by Chat Sports. We have a fun show ahead. We are going to do a fan-led mock draft for the first time ever on this channel. We'll kind of explain how it works here in a second, but you can start voting on the pinned poll you see down in the comment section. I want to know, where are you watching from? Shout out your city. I know Chad Jones in Monetta, Florida, or Monetta, Virginia. I know Jackson Lynch is in Lafayette, Louisiana. Kurt LaPlante, what's up, dude? What's up? How you doing, man? One of the Super Chat MVPs from last week. Adam Sanchez, Mr. 505. Jackson Lynch is in Lafayette. Go get some Dino's Pizza for me, man. Chris is in Auckland. Zolan saying he's in Steve. I don't know where that is. Chris Fisher, Savannah, Georgia. Lorenzo Flores in Los Angeles, California. Caleb King watching from the Gold Coast of Australia. That is awesome, man. We have viewers from all over the world here on Dolphins Today. Jaywalk, Jackson, Mississippi. Zolan is in Tipton. David is in Atlanta. Kurt LaPlante is in Palm City, Florida. Let me make sure I got that right, Kurt. Yes, Palm City, Florida. Tyler is in Davie, Florida. We got Hayden is in Fayetteville, Arkansas. David is way down there in Brownsville, Texas. South Texas, very nice. Miami 305 saying Willy Fins, and he is in Dade County, very nice. Victor is in Miami. We got Mark in Fort Myers, Duck City. You love to see it, Mark. Thanks for tuning in, my friend. Now, as I mentioned on today's show, we're getting into a fan-led mock draft. I want to know from y'all down in the comment section, who do you want the Dolphins to draft? Is it Darnell Washington? Is it Sam Laporta? Is it Zach Charbonnet? Is it Devin A-Chain? Let me know down in the comment section. We got Lorenzo Flores saying, worldwide fin side. Very nice. Jackson, I've been good, man. How have you been over there in Lafayette? It's my second home, man. Love Lafayette, Louisiana. Carter Reimer saying he wants to draft Jahmyr Gibbs. Chad Jones. Who? Chad Jones saying Steve Avila. Well, make sure you go and vote for Steve Avila on our pinned poll. Oh, exactly. If was your mic on when you said that?
If Chad wants him, he can get him, and we'll explain in a second.
We'll explain here in a second, Chad. We got Jackson Lynch in the comments section. Richard is saying Zach Charbonnet from UCLA. HBK, I don't think we trade up, but I think we might trade down. Use hashtag Dolphins, though, to get on the show. Sherry May saying Matthew Bergeron, the Syracuse offensive tackle. Wow, Matthew Bergeron is leading our poll. Go Qs, baby, go Qs. On today's show, we're doing a Dolphins fan-led mock draft. So you are all going to get to vote. And Super Chat, we'll explain the rules here in a second and kind of lead us through this mock draft on a video that we'll got on our channel tomorrow. Here are the Super Chat rules. $2 Super Chat gets you 2 votes. Now, you can vote down on our pinned poll, but these are to kind of stuff the ballot box, if you will. $2 Super Chat for 2 votes. $5 Super Chat for 10 votes. $50 Super Chat, trade the pick. $100 Super Chat to make the pick. And when you Super Chat, make sure to put the player's name. So if you want to get more votes in outside of the pinned poll we have, that is the way to do it. So, Chad, I know you said you want Steve Avila, $100 Super Chat. You can make the pick. All right, here we go. Comment below. Pick the player here. So I have been using this PFF mock draft simulator. We have fast-forwarded the Dolphin selection at 51, and we have these 4 options. Do we want Iowa tight end, Sam Laporta, UCLA running back, Zach Charbonnet, Syracuse offensive tackle, Matthew Bergeron, or do we want TCU guard Steve Avila, who has been mocked to the Dolphins probably more than anybody else in this draft? Go down and vote. We got Storm Warrior, San Laporta, NFL Production Laporta, Zach Kazinka, Steve Avila, Chad Jones, Steve Avila, Zolan, Steve Avila, David Storm, Sam Laporta. I'm seeing a lot of Laportas, and I'm seeing a lot of Avilas as well.
It's a close race right now.
It is a close race right now. Bergeron and Avila are tied at 33% on our pinned poll. Laporta close behind, 23%. Dolphins fans, I'm proud of you for. Oh! Steve Avila's the pick. Steve Avila's the pick. Chad Jones, Super Chat says smoothest Tennessee whiskey, as sweet as strawberry wine. He's a legend here on Dolphins today. He's super chatting and he's drafting all the time. Who? Chad Jones. Who? Chad Jones. Chad Jones is Chad GM Jones today. Steve Avila's the pick. Send it in. Send the ticket in. Send the ticket in. Send it in to Roger Goodell. Steve Avila's the pick for the Dolphins in our fan-led mock draft. Don't worry. You'll have a chance to vote on round 3 here in a second. But Steve Avila is the pick. That is our new starting left guard. Jackson Lynch, he knows the song. Smoothest Tennessee whiskey. And he's super chatting all the time. There's the pick. Steve Avila is the pick for the Dolphins here in the second round.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. Sherry May sent in a $5 super chat after Chad Jones that said she wanted Matthew Bergeron.
Yes.
What we're going to do is, Sherry, after we get the next picks, you can take that $5 and put it toward the next round of picks.
So Sherry, just your super chat's good for the next round. Just let us know.
You don't have to super chat again. Just once the picks are up, go in the chat and say, I want this person. I want my votes for this person.
All right, Chad, I'm on the mock draft simulator. I have just taken Steve Avila. Steve Avila's the pick for the Dolphins, our new starting left guard. He's phenomenal. I mocked him to the Dolphins. Mel Kiper mocked him to the Dolphins. And now, who? Chad Jones. Who? Chad Jones is mocked him to the Dolphins. Chad,
So,
I take you over Mel Kiper any day.
Honestly, that was huge from Chad because Matthew Bergeron and Steve Avila were tied at the time. So
Wow.
if he really, 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 really wanted Steve Avila, that was the way to do it.
So we have a left guard. We still need a tight end. So, Jack, are you ready for these 4 names I'm about to give you? All right. So I have fast-forwarded to round 3, pick 84 overall. Are you ready for this? Okay. Tank Dell, wide receiver, Houston. Best player on the board according to PFF. Wanya Morris, offensive tackle, Oklahoma. Wanya. Yes. Offensive tackle, Oklahoma. Sean Tucker, running back, Syracuse. Sean. And then you'll like this one because you're the Michigan producer. Oh boy, we got Luke Schoonmaker, tight end, Michigan. That's a good 4 right there. We got some good options. Poll is up. Who are we taking?
Now, we will come back to this after our first segment.
If this is Wanya Morris, this is going to turn into basically the mock draft I had last week because I had Avila in the second round, Morris in the third. But right now, Schoonmaker, the tight end out of Michigan, is leading our poll. Tank Dell was mocked to the Dolphins by Todd McShay. Maybe it was, no, actually it was PFF. It was PFF that mock Tank Dell the Dolphins. That's why I've included him on here. Man, Schoonmaker's out to a pretty big lead. Chad Jones, who just drafted Steve Avila, he wants Schoonmaker. Like this video if you're excited about the mock draft. We've already had a lot of fun with this mock draft here. Like the video if you're that was an electric moment. Chad Jones really wanted him. We got Luke Schoonmaker, the tight end out of Michigan. Yodes will like that one. 39% with the lead. But Wanya Morris is close behind. 26% is Wanya Morris, who y'all learned about in my mock draft video last week. I took him in the third round. So this is third round pick, 84 overall. It is worth noting that 83 overall was Jordan Battle, the safety out of Alabama, who we've talked a little bit about. So he's off the board. Jalen Duncan, the offensive tackle out of Maryland, went 3 picks prior. Devin Achane went to the Patriots. Don't love that because I like Devin Achane. Tyjae Spears off the board. Blake Freeland off the board. Zach Charbonnet, we had a chance to get him last round. We passed for Steve Avila. I think the Dolphins are going to draft Steve Avila with the way that, like, just this momentum is trending. I mean, if y'all remember last year, I had the Dolphins picking Channing Tindall in, like, most of my mock drafts, and guess who they took in the actual draft? Channing Tindall. I'll say this, though. I don't think they're going to draft a tackle in the second or third round. Even Barry Jackson was like, don't do it. Hey, 40 likes. We got to get to 40 likes if we want to keep this fan-led mock draft going. Chad Jones just made the pick for us here in round 2. Oh, it got Lorenzo Flores. That's a couple votes right there saying Luke Schoonmaker, the tight end out of Michigan, Lorenzo Flores, with some votes there for Luke Schoonmaker. Thank you for the votes, Lorenzo. Lorenzo Flores, $5 super chat saying Luke Schoonmaker. So now Schoonmaker's lead is even more significant than it was in the pinned poll. All right, before we make the pick for the Fins in round 3, and Sherry May wants Morris. Okay, so now those balance each other out. All right, Sherry May, we just made note of that. Use hashtag Dolphins or super chat to get your questions in. We got a mailbag coming up before we make the pick for the Dolphins in round 3. Oh, man. More votes for Wanya Morris. More votes for Wanya Morris. And guess who it is? I'm so excited. Super Chat Lamo, get on the show. 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 Oh, I love it. I love it. Wanya Morris says, Mo, we need to make Tua's jersey white all year. I'm right there with you. Tight end is a luxury, in my opinion, until the O-line is secured. Mo, that's a good point, man. That's a good point. You should co-host the show. That's a great point. That's going to be on the mailbag as well. So more votes there for Morris. Morris actually has more super chat votes than Schoonmaker, so that tightens things a little bit. It's extremely close right now. I mean, one super chat could swing that either way. Right. Okay, here's what's coming up on today's show. But don't forget about the super chat we got for Schoonmaker. So it's pretty close. Hashtag Dolphins or super chat to get your questions in.
We need more questions, folks. We need more questions.
Need more questions. We got Ced Wilson trade destinations on today's show. We're going to talk about some possible spots for Ced if he gets traded. Obviously, he's been someone that's been in a lot of trade rumors around the league recently. Then we have two Dolphins mailbags on today's show. We're going to get into our first one here in a second. And then, of course, throughout today's show, we're doing a fan-led mock draft. Dolphins fans, welcome in to Dolphins Today. I am Will Scott answering your questions live here for our latest Dolphins mailbag. Appreciate all of you who submitted questions during our live show. First one coming in from Super Chat Like Mo. Get on the show. $10 Super Chat from Mo. We appreciate you, man. One of our Super Chat MVPs. He says he wants to draft Wanya Morris, the offensive tackle from Oklahoma. We need to keep Tua's jersey white all year. Tight end is a luxury, in my opinion, until the O-line is secured. Those are clearly, Mo, the two biggest team needs, offensive line and tight end. Offensive line is number one, though. Tight end is number two, and it's no secret. The Dolphins need offensive line help, especially at right tackle. Morris was the starting right tackle the last 2 years at Oklahoma. Did a good job in that spot. He's someone that the Dolphins could target in round 3. I took him in my own mock draft last week. Zach Azinka, third rounder, and Ced Wilson for Devin White. That might be enough to get that done. I think he'd have to eat some of the Ced Wilson contract, but I don't think Devin White's going to go for a massive haul because whatever team acquires him is going to have to give him a big contract. He only has 1 year left on his deal. A second or a third might be enough to get Devin White. Probably a second, but maybe a third and a player would be enough to get that done. I would do that trade, Zach. David Storm, what's up? Do you think Darnell Washington could fall to us? Dave, appreciate you, man. Watching from West Virginia. Before the Combine, yes. In fact, I saw a lot of mock drafts, David, that had Darnell to Miami. But the Combine, I mean, he was just phenomenal and really raised his stock. I think there's a better chance that he goes in round 1 than falls to the Dolphins at pick 51 overall. I don't see a world where that happens, but if he's on the board and the Dolphins don't take him, I think we're both going to be pretty upset, Dave. Be sure to subscribe for Dolphins news and rumors year-round. You know, a lot of Dolphins channels are just active during the season. That's not how we roll. We get you guys year-round Dolphins content. We've had you covered throughout the off-season, so be sure to subscribe to the channel right now, youtube.com/Dolphins News. $50 super chat from Kevin Fisher. What's up, man? We'll give you another shout out here after this segment. Do you see Miami trading up in the second round? If so, who do they target? As always, appreciate the content. Kevin Fisher, man, we appreciate you, man. You've been such a big supporter of the show since I took over last year, so I really appreciate Kev. I don't see Miami trading up. I read an article today that was talking about that possibility, but I just don't see that happening because you only have 4 draft picks as is. You don't have any draft capital, so it'd be hard to give up some of the picks you currently have to move up because then you're looking at maybe only 2 or 3 draft picks in this draft. I think there's a much higher chance that they move back in the draft, try to add some draft capital. However, if they trade up, I expect it to be for Darnell Washington. Let's say Darnell kind of falls middle of second round, but the Dolphins have intel that he's going to be off the board by 51. They trade up 6-7 spots. They give up their second round pick next year to make that happen. I would do that in a heartbeat. And that's the guy I'd go up and get. And that's the guy that I expect Miami to go up and get if they trade up. Another name to watch is maybe Matthew Bergeron, the offensive tackle from Syracuse. But Darnell, man, would be an awesome get if the Dolphins could land him. We appreciate the super chat again, Kevin. Carter Reimer, trade for Saquon Barkley. Interesting question. So Saquon's going to hold out. He got franchise tag. I think he was probably pretty disappointed about that. He wanted a new deal. He didn't get one. So a lot of people are saying, hey, could he get traded? I don't expect him to get traded. And if you trade for him, you probably have to give him a new contract. I would say no to trade for Saquon Barkley. I think I'd rather draft a running back third round. You did re-sign all 4 of your running backs. Didn't necessarily agree with that decision. But I don't expect to trade for Saquon. If the Dolphins do circle back on a running back, I think it's going to be Dalvin Cook. The franchise, what's up, man? Aaron Rodgers not going to the Jets? Actually, it's possible because here's what Adam Schefter said about Rodgers to the Jets. Both sides now appear to be dug in. my understanding is there hasn't been a whole lot of conversation, if any, over the last couple of weeks. So, hey, Jets fans were celebrating getting Aaron Rodgers. That was like 4 weeks ago, right, when he went on Pat McAfee. There has still not been a deal official. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if the trade's going to happen before the draft, after the draft, or at all. But the fact that there has not been any communication in the past couple of weeks, that's significant. And what if Rodgers kind of has a change of heart and wants to retire or go to a different team? I mean, the Jets would be screwed. Will Aaron Rodgers play for the Jets? Let me know down in the comment section. It is the pinned comment on today's video. So when ad break comes, go down, chime in, type Y for yes or type in for no. Will Aaron Rodgers go to the Jets? Chad Jones. Who? Chad Jones. We appreciate you, man. Left tackle, tight end, guard, and wide receiver. Need a future wide receiver to replace Hill. Well, yeah, Tyreek says he's going to retire in 3 years. So we have 3 more seasons left with Tyreek. I don't think we have to worry about a Tyreek Hill replacement right now. I wouldn't mind drafting a wide receiver, Chad, if we had more picks. We only have 4 picks, and we already have a loaded wide receiver room. So I'm not in favor of drafting a wide receiver. Tank Dell's a fantastic player, and you have a chance to take him here in our fan-led mock draft. And he was mocked to the Dolphins by PFF, but I don't expect the Dolphins to take a wide receiver, at least in the second or third. Sherry May. We appreciate you, Sherry. What is Ced Wilson's trade value? A 6th or a 7th, maybe. That contract is problematic. That contract's going to be hard to move. But I would say a 6th or a 7th round pick is Ced Wilson's trade value right now. Steve James, what's up, man? Any further vibes regarding DJ Fluker? He'd be a great value pickup at right tackle. So we don't need to pick up AJ's 5th-year option. Well, they're not going to pick up AJ's 5th-year option with or without Fluker. I can just about promise you that. I haven't heard anything on that front. When I talked to DJ, or at least after I talked to DJ last week, I told him to keep me in the loop. He named some teams. And if you haven't checked out that interview, be sure to go check that out. Fantastic conversation that I had with free agent offensive tackle DJ Fluker, who, of course, spent some time with the Dolphins in the 2021 offseason before he was cut with a knee injury. He named some teams, Steve. Raiders. Who else did he name? Bears, Broncos. The Dolphins were not one of the teams that he named as a team that reached out with interest. So hopefully that changes because that pro day at Alabama was very impressive. I think it's worth giving him a shot. But no update right now on DJ Fluker, Steve. If something changes, I'll let you know. Shane Russell, what's up, man? Can you sum up all the offseason for the Dolphins so far? I mean, it's been a eventful offseason. I mean, it began with firing Josh Boyer. It's funny, Shane. I had a dream offseason video right after the season ended, and one of the things was firing Josh Boyer. And another thing was hiring Vic Fangio, which happened. And then another thing was adding a corner, which they did in Jalen Ramsey. So there you go. So it's been an eventful offseason. Obviously, you got Fangio, you got Jalen Ramsey, you bring back all 4 running backs, you sign David Long, you sign Malik Reed, you sign Braxton Berrios, which is a signing I really liked. I'd give the Dolphins offseason a B+ right now. It's not an A because they have failed to address the offensive line yet again. Very frustrating. Hanky Fins, what's up, man? Is Cam Fleming still available? Yeah, so he remains probably the best offensive tackle free agent still on the market, and he put up pretty solid numbers in Denver last year. Now, Butch Barry, the Dolphins' new offensive line coach, was his offensive line coach in Denver, but apparently Barry was not very well liked in Denver, so I don't think that helps our chances of getting Cam Fleming. But Fleming is really solid, and he would be an instant upgrade at right tackle if you signed him. Should the Dolphins sign Cameron Fleming? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. Type S for sign or type P for pass. Lorenzo Flores. DeAndre Hopkins to the Fins. No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think he very well could go into the division. The Patriots and the Bills are apparently after him, but no. the Dolphins are not going to trade for DeAndre Hopkins. He's a great player, but we don't need him. We have Tyreek. We have Waddle. That wide receiver room is elite. John Russell, what's up, man? Who makes the biggest jump in year 2, Tyndall or Ezukanma? That's a really good question, John. Really good stuff. I would say Channing Tyndall just because I think he's going to get more playing time. I still think Eric Ezukanma is going to be the 4th or 5th wide receiver at best. Meanwhile, I think Tyndall's going to be right behind David Long as a backup inside linebacker, could get some starts by the end of the season. I just think Tyndall's going to be more involved. But I'm really excited to see Eazy. I think Eazy's going to he's got to get more involved. He wasn't involved at all last year. But I think Eazy's going to prove something this year. Zolan, what's up, man? Do you think the new QB helmet will help Tua with his concussion stay healthy? I mean, there's been some talk about, changing the helmets, especially Tua's helmet. I do know that Kenny Pickett had 2 concussions, then he changed his helmet, and that seriously helped him. The Dolphins haven't said anything about changing Tua's helmet, but I hope they do because I do think that could help. If you did not get a question in on the mailbag, you can DM me on Twitter at WillScott44. And be sure you subscribe to the channel. We got the draft coming up in a few weeks. We're going to go live next Thursday before the draft. We're also going to go live during the draft when the Dolphins make their pick in the 2nd or 3rd round, so you don't want to miss that. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/Dolphins News. We're live every single Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, so be sure to join us for our next live show. Oh, it's Kevin Fisher tonight. Oh, it's Kevin Fisher tonight, sending in those super chats. We appreciate Kevin. I was going to break out the song after the segment. But he says, do you see Miami trading up in the 2nd round? I don't think so. I'll say this. If they can find a way to trade up in the 2nd round for Darnell without giving up a pick this year, oh my gosh, Kevin, I would be over the moon thrilled. Kevin, do you want to trade the pick? Because you do have the option to do that now, Kevin. We could trade the pick here. Do you want to trade this pick? We can only trade back right now. But do you want to trade the pick, Kevin? Do you want to trade the pick? Let me know down in the comments section. Do you want to trade the pick? Because you sent in a $50 super chat. We now have the option of trading this pick. Do you want to trade back and add more picks? Trade back! Kevin says trade back. And Kevin has just turned this draft upside down. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to trade with the Giants. Let's see. I might opt to trade with a different team here. All right. I'm going to trade with the Cincinnati Bengals, okay? I'm going to offer them this trade. Y'all ready for this? They get pick 84. We get 92 and 131. What pick is 131? Is that 5th round? That's 4th round. Okay. So I'm trading back 8 spots. Here, do you want to see it? Okay, do y'all want to make this trade? We're trading pick 84 for pick 92 and pick 131. Again, pick 84 for pick 92 and 131. We're trading back 8 spots, and we're adding a 4th round pick that we do not have in the process. Do we want to do it? David Storm is saying trade.
I just want to clarify. We are trading the pick. It is going to happen, but is this the trade you want to make?
Yes. Is this the trade you want to make? And let me know. Is this the trade y'all want to make? 71% of the votes are on yes right now. All right, I'm going to offer them the trade. hold on 1 second here. Trying to offer them the trade. Okay. Offer the trade. I'm offering the trade. The trade has been accepted by the Cincinnati Bengals. The trade has been accepted. Yes. And most of our guys are still on the board. Holy crap. Tank Dell is off the board. Tank Dell is off the board. Wanya Morris is still on there. Luke Schoonmaker. Wow, what a trade. What a trade. We just traded for a fourth and our other guys are still on the board. Sean Tucker's still there. Okay, here we go. Y'all are going to like who I'm adding here. This just made it a lot more interesting. Tank Bigsby, the running back from Auburn. Replace Tank Dell with him. So we're about to put up a new poll here. Wow, what a trade. What a trade from Kevin Fisher, man. What a trade. See? What I say on my show yesterday. I am open to trading back for that reason. We just added a 4th-round pick. He's a running back from Auburn. Running back from Auburn. Mo does not want to draft a running back. Offensive tackle from Oklahoma. Yes. So now we have 5 total picks. Polls up. All right. Are we drafting Tank Bigsby, the running back from Auburn? Wanya Morris, the offensive tackle from Oklahoma? Sean Tucker, the running back from Syracuse? Or Luke Schoonmaker, the tight end from Michigan? Schoonmaker had a slight lead when we were at pick 84. But we have traded back to pick 92 with the Cincinnati Bengals. Wanya Morris has the lead. Wow. A big lead for Wanya Morris at 54%. You will put 5 minutes on the clock? 3 minutes on the clock. 3 minutes on the clock here. We're on the clock. We have got to make a pick. And this is surprising because Schoonmaker was leading our last vote. Wanya Morris right now is at 58%. And you know what's funny about that, Jack? There's a lot of comments on my mock draft video that went out over the weekend that it wasn't a good mock draft. But my first 2 picks were Avila and Morris. And we're trending in the direction where the fans are going to literally have the same mock draft. Unbelievable. Now, you can stuff the ballot box here with the Super Chat. Kevin Fisher, he opted to trade the pick back. Chad Jones made the pick, taking Steve Avila. David Storm appears to want Luke Schoonmaker. $100 Super Chat. You get to make the pick. But right now, Wanya Morris has 61% of the vote. He is running away with this. Where's Sam Brown? Go. That's his guy. 62. We have about 90 seconds. It looks like Wanya Morris is going to win the poll. So if you want anybody else, you got to Super Chat to get your extra votes in.
The poll is king. The poll is who we take. Whoever wins the poll is the one that's getting picked. But if you Super Chat, we'll add votes to that poll.
Adding votes to the poll if you Super Chat. So if you do not want Wanya Morris, if you want Tank Bigsby, if you want Sean Tucker, if you want Luke Schoonmaker.
I also want to say, only 41 people have voted. There's over 100 people watching.
Yes.
If you want them to take someone else, vote.
Get out to the polls and vote. Let your voice be heard. Wow. Wanya Morris continues to take the lead. Mo, we got you. We got you, Mo. I don't know. There are still 40 seconds left. 40 seconds left. Morris is at 56%. Only 44 votes, though. Okay, Schoonmaker's going up a little bit. Super chat to get the votes in for Schoonmaker or anybody else. I think I'd take Schoonmaker. If I was I would vote for Schoonmaker. I'd sign Cam Fleming to be the right tackle, and I'd draft Luke Schoonmaker. But this certainly would help solidify the offensive line. 5, 4. Lorenzo Flores had a vote for Schoonmaker. Is it going to be enough? I'm not sure. We're going to see if any got in at the buzzer. We're going to see. Lorenzo Flores, I agree, Lorenzo. I probably would have taken Luke Schoonmaker. It's not going to be enough. Is Wanya Morris, do we want to wait to see if any got in at the buzzer? We're gonna wait a few seconds. BJ Ward, I appreciate you, man. Sean Tucker, that's my guy out of Syracuse University. Is Wanya Morris the pick? Wanya Morris is the pick for the Dolphins in the third round. This is looking very similar. We have a 7th round pick too, by the way. Okay. This is looking very similar. And if you're just joining us and you're like, whoa, the Dolphins have 5 draft picks on this, but 4 in real life. Well, we traded the pick back. I got you. Wow. This is a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun. So Wanya Morris is the pick. Chad Jones is not happy about it. Wanya Morris, I just picked Wanya. Okay. Ready for these 4? Correct. Juice Scruggs. That's literally his name. The center from Penn State. SCRUGGS. Deuce Vaughn. He's a center from Penn State. Deuce Vaughn, running back from Kansas State. Yes. Zach Kuntz. Zach Kuntz. It's K-U-N. Oh, yeah. C-K. Zach Kuntz. And then we have one more, right? Let's see. Who's the best on the board here? And then let's do Jakorian Bennett. Jakorian Bennett. Bennett. Cornerback from Maryland. All right, we're about to put a new poll up. New poll is up. So we have Juice Scruggs, the center from Penn State. Deuce Vaughn, the running back from Kansas State. Zach Kuntz, the tight end from Old Dominion, has gotten out to a lead here. And then Jakorian Bennett, the cornerback from Maryland. This is impressive. A lot of people voting for Kuntz. Make sure to get those votes in.
There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get them down in the comments. Who you want?
Zach Kuntz, Jacorian Bennett, Deuce Vaughn, or Juice Scruggs. Juice Scruggs is all name team in this draft. There's no question about it. Juice Scruggs, Deuce Vaughn, Zach Kuntz, or Jacorian Bennett. We got Kurt LaPlante saying Kuntz. So Zolan is now happy that we passed on Luke Schoonmaker because we got a chance to get Kuntz here in the 4th round because we added that 4th round pick in the trade with Cincinnati. All right, continue to vote. We're going to get into the Ced Wilson trade destinations segment. We're going to come back. We're going to make the pick for the Dolphins in round 4. Does that sound good, Jack Ray? Yeah. Let me copy and paste it into.
Everyone get your votes in the comments. I'll give some shout-outs. Collins going for Zach Kuntz. Chad Jones going for Juice Scruggs. Shiesty's going for Zach Kuntz. Basson for Biggins is going with Kuntz. Lorenzo is going with Kuntz. Looks like everyone wants Zach Kuntz, and I don't even think it's close. But vote on the live poll, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we are making the decision.
Yes. That is where we are making the decision. Vote on our live poll, where you can super chat to get more votes in. Ready to rock and roll, Lotteray? Excellent. Let's do it. Dolphins Today is sponsored by RexMD. You can get 90% off at rexmd.com/chat. We'll tell you more about that great deal later on in today's show. And on today's show, we're looking at the top trade destinations for Dolphins wide receiver Ced Wilson. He has been in a lot of trade rumors recently. We're going to break down some of the top destinations for Wilson if the Dolphins opt to move him. Be sure you subscribe because if the Dolphins do trade Ced or anybody else for that matter, we're certainly going to have you guys covered. Hit that subscribe button below because we get you daily Miami Dolphins videos. So Ced Wilson is someone we've talked about before in terms of being a possible trade candidate. And the main reason for that is because you could clear a significant amount of cap space moving him. In fact, the Dolphins would create $6 million in cap space moving him before June 1st. That number goes up to $7 million post June 1st. And right now, Miami only has $3 million in cap space. So when you're looking at Ced, he's someone that really just did not get involved a whole lot last year. You have an opportunity to maybe move him if a team's interested and clear a lot of cap space. And if you combine that with the money you're getting from the Byron Jones post June 1 cut designation, the Dolphins could clear $20.6 million in cap space. I mean, that is a lot of money the Dolphins could clear up on June 1st if they trade Cedric Wilson because they're going to get $13.6 million from the Byron Jones cut. Now, I want to hear from y'all down in the comments section. Should Miami trade Ced Wilson? Type T for trade or type P for pass. Down in the comment section, go down and let me know. It is the pinned comment, so reply to it when you get a second. Type T for trade or type P for pass. Ced had a breakout year in 2021 in Dallas. He was one of the better wide receivers in free agency. Last offseason, after a 45-reception year, over 600 yards, 6 touchdowns. Look at the numbers, though, in Miami in 2022. Just not impressive. 12 receptions, 136 yards, no touchdowns. He was expected to be the third wide receiver behind Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and he just was not that guy. We still have him tapped here as wide receiver 3 because Trent Sherfield is gone, but Berrios, maybe Ezukanma could step into that role if Ced Wilson were to get traded. Now let's break down the top 5 trade destinations for Cedric Wilson if the Dolphins opt to move him, and we begin with the Minnesota Vikings. They are looking to contend this next season, coming off a 12-win year in 2022, and their wide receiver room without Adam Thielen just looks a lot different. Now, they still have 2 really good wide receivers in Justin Jefferson and KJ Osborne. I'm not really sure how they feel about Jalen Naylor and some other guys, especially Jalen Reagor, on this team. So they might want to add some depth at wide receiver, maybe trading for Cedric Wilson. And, you know, some people are asking about the trade value. I think it's a 6th or 7th round pick. I don't think it's anything crazy. Maybe they'll want to give up a 6th or 7th, go and get a guy they feel like can be their third wide receiver this next season. Want to tell you about our sponsor over at RexMD. Fellas, do you sometimes lack confidence in the bedroom? We've all had those nights where we get too nervous or maybe had too much to drink. There's nothing worse than not being able to put the stick shift in drive when you need it the most. But have no fear, RexMD is here, spreading cheer even when you had too many beers. RexMD is FDA approved and the most trusted leader in men's telehealth. They have sponsored today's show to help you always be prepared. RexMD has made it simple, easy, and cost-effective to help all the men out there last longer and feel more confident in the bedroom. RexMD makes getting generic and branded Viagra or Cialis easy. Everything's online, even the prescription, and they deliver it discreetly to your door. No waiting rooms, no embarrassing trips to the doctor, no insurance, and no copays. Take advantage of their best deal they've ever offered and save up to 90% off and only pay $2 per dosage with our exclusive link. Go to RexMD.com/chat for this limited time deal. Starter packs of generic Viagra or Cialis are now available to help our listeners get started. That's RexMD.com/chat, 90% off. Only pay $2 per dosage. Fantastic deal. Go and take advantage of it. That link is in the comments and the description of today's video, RexMD.com/chat. The Baltimore Ravens, they obviously just added Odell Beckham Jr., but they are still looking to improve the wide receiver room. OBJ's their clear wide receiver 1, which is fine, but he's also kind of old. He has the injury concerns coming off the torn ACL. Nelson Aguilar is not that great. I mean, Ced Wilson would probably be a better third option than him. So I could see the Ravens, who are trying to maybe convince Lamar to stay, take back his trade request, go out and get Cedric Wilson, add another wide receiver to that room because they still need to improve that wide receiver room. Still a lot of work to do over in Baltimore. And then number 3, the Green Bay Packers. And yeah, I mean, they're probably going to trade Aaron Rodgers, probably the Jets. But still, if Jordan Love's the guy, Jordan Love has got to have some weapons. And right now, there's just not a whole lot of weapons for him on this team. So I could see the Packers as a team that's been linked to Hopkins. They were linked to OBJ a little bit. Maybe linked to Ced Wilson if the Dolphins make him available in a trade. Number 2 on my list, Ced Wilson's former team, the Dallas Cowboys. They apparently kind of regret letting Ced Wilson walk. And this wide receiver room is really solid. They have Lamb, they have Cooks, they have Gallup. But like I said, the Cowboys regret letting Ced Wilson go. They feel like they really missed him this past season. So if the opportunity presented itself to bring Wilson back to Dallas and only give up a 6th or a 7th round pick to do it, maybe that's something that the Cowboys would entertain. But number 1 on my list is the Los Angeles Chargers because Kellen Moore, his former offensive coordinator, is now the offensive coordinator with the Chargers. And the Chargers definitely need more help on offense, especially at wide receiver. They have Keenan Allen, but they want to get some more weapons this offseason for Justin Herbert. I'm a little bit surprised they weren't more aggressive in free agency, going out and getting some receivers. So maybe Kellen Moore, with that Cedric Wilson connection, would be interested in bringing Ced Wilson out west to the Los Angeles Chargers, having him be a new weapon for Justin Herbert. Will Ced Wilson get traded? Y for yes or N for no down in the comment section. I'm going to say no for a couple reasons. Number one, his contract is going to make him very difficult to trade. I think if he does get traded, the Dolphins are probably going to have to eat some of that contract. He's owed, $14 million over the next 2 years, base salary. So his contract is difficult to move. But also, I feel like the Dolphins know that he can be a lot more productive than he was last season, and they might want to hold on to him for that reason. We'll have you covered if a trade happens, if we hear any more trade rumors, so be sure to subscribe to the channel right now. All right, round 4 voting. Let me know down in the comment section. We got Juice Scruggs at 19%. Deuce Vaughn at 19%. Zach Kuntz, the tight end out of Old Dominion, at 53%. And then Jacorian Bennett, the corner from Maryland, at 9%. You know, put the three-minute timer up. $50 to trade back again, add more picks. $100 to just make the pick, like Chad Jones did. Chad Jones wants Juice Scruggs, the center from Penn State. I will say this, though. We have not taken a tight end yet, and we really need a tight end. So we have 3.5 minutes on the clock. Continue to get those votes in. We have over 100 people watching, but just 57 votes right now. No super chat. $2 super for 2 votes, $5 super for 10 votes, $50 super chat to trade the pick. We saw Kevin Fisher do that earlier. $100 super to make the pick. We saw our guy Chad Jones do that earlier as well. And then be sure to put the player's name in your super chat. So if you want Coots to run away with this, you can certainly put more votes in for him by super chatting, or maybe you like Deuce Vaughn, maybe you like Juice Scruggs or Jacorian Bennett. Then you can super chat to help them catch up, because the super chats will go a long way in terms of making this a closer race. About 2 minutes on the clock right now. Andy C. wants Kuntz.
While we're waiting for the vote to conclude for round 4, we got another mailbag coming up next. And ladies and gentlemen, we need your questions. If you want to get on the show, if you want to be in a video, you can ask Will any question about the Dolphins. So use hashtag Dolphins. I saw a lot of people put in really good questions during the last mailbag. They didn't get pulled into our system because you didn't use hashtag Dolphins. So start out your question with hashtag Dolphins, and we'll get it going.
Super chat. Kurt LaPlante wants Zach Kuntz to run away with this. $5 super chat from Kurt LaPlante for Zach Kuntz, the tight end out of Old Dominion. And it's certainly looking good for Kuntz right now. Type 1 to vote for Scruggs. Type 2 to vote for Deuce Vaughn. 3 to vote for Kuntz. 4 to vote for Jacorian Bennett. Sherry May is saying, Sherry May, I think, wants Kuntz. 1 minute. Oh, nice. Okay. A lot of people want Kuntz. He has over 50% of the vote right now. Nobody else is more than 20%. Looks like Juice Scruggs might be the runner-up here.
Get those votes in, ladies and gentlemen. There's more people watching than people that have voted, so get your votes in.
2, 1. Is it going to be Kuntz? Is it going to be Zach Kuntz? Is it going to be Kuntz? Let's see if any votes came in last second. Zach Kuntz is the pick in the 4th round for the Dolphins. The tight end out of Old Dominion is the pick. Zach Kuntz is the pick for the Dolphins. So we've addressed some needs. We need a left guard. We got one in Steve Avila. We need a right tackle. We got one in Wanya Morris. And we needed a tight end. We got one in Zach Kuntz. The tight end out of Old Dominion. All right. Ready for the 6th round now? Hello. What do you think about our mock draft so far? Fan-led mock draft. We needed a left guard. We needed a right tackle. We needed a tight end. We traded back 8 spots to add a 4th round pick. Yes. You like the picks? Zach Kuntz, man, could be a steal. He could be a steal. I think he's a Dolphin. All right, those are our first 3 picks. Paul 5486 likes the mock draft so far. Okay. Here we go. Let's see who we got. Let's see. Still need a running back. Let's do Chris Rodriguez, running back from Kentucky. Z. Running back Kentucky. Yeah. Oh, wait. Let me see if this is who I think it is. There's a guy named Jason Taylor that's 2nd on the board right now. Okay. We're taking Jason. He's not related to the Jason Taylor, but we're still Jason Taylor the 2nd. Safety from Oklahoma State. Safety from Oklahoma State. He's not related to our Jason Taylor. That's pretty funny. Let's do Corey Trice, C-O-R-Y. Trice, T-R-I-C-E. Cornerback from Purdue. Mm-hmm. And let's do linebacker Mikel Jones from Syracuse. M-I-K-E-L. Jones. Yeah. Linebacker from Syracuse. I don't think so. Here we go. Who are we taking in round 6? Is it Chris Rodriguez? Is it Jason Taylor II? Is it Corey Trice? Or is it Mikel Jones? Chris Rodriguez, running back from Kentucky. Jason Taylor II, not related to our He's going to win this vote. He's going to win the poll. Safety from Oklahoma State. Oh, my goodness. Or Mikel Jones, the linebacker from Syracuse. He's pretty good, Mikel Jones. Ooh, Mikel Jones just took the lead. Again, vote on our pin poll, but you can get even more votes in by super chatting. $2 super for 2 votes. $5 super for 10 votes. $50 super to trade the pick, $100 super to make the selection. Be sure to put the player's name in the super chat when you super chat. Speaking of super chatting, got a mailbag coming up right now. Use hashtag Dolphins or super chat to get your questions in. Hashtag Dolphins or super chat to get your questions in. Huh? I do. All righty. Going to get into a Dolphins mailbag right now. Hashtag Dolphins or super chat to get your questions in on the show. Dolphins fans, we are presented by Manscaped today. Shout out to them for sponsoring today's show. You go to manscaped.com and use promo code Dolphins to get 20% off plus free shipping on their performance package. We'll tell you more about that later on today's mailbag. And we begin today's mailbag talking to Tommy Martin. What's up, Tommy? Will the new line coaching make any difference in our line performance since they have seemed to settle on using what we have? Well, the new offensive line coach, Butch Barry, I was not thrilled about that hire. He did not get rave reviews in Denver. Denver actually let him go when they fired Hackett. Normally, the other assistants would remain. He didn't. That's not a good sign. So we'll see. I mean, the jury's still out on Butch Barry. The Denver offensive line was really bad last year, and Butch Barry was the University of Miami offensive line coach. They had the worst offensive line in the ACC. But I am surprised, Tommy, to see them kind of going with AJ and Liam again. I don't think that's going to end very well. John Russell, what's up? If Hendon Hooker is there in round 3, can the Fins ignore that? Two things. He's not going to be, there's a much better chance he's going to be a first-round pick. It's actually trending in that direction. He's going to slide into the first round. In terms of if he's there in round 3, should the Fins ignore that? Yeah, because they do not need a quarterback. They have Mike White as the backup to Tua. They have Skylar Thompson. I don't expect them to use one of their 4 draft picks on a quarterback. But Hooker's obviously a great talent. I think he's going to be very good at this level. Won't budge. What's up, man? Are we drafting Tucker Kraft, the tight end from South Dakota State? I would love to draft Tucker Kraft, who did this past season at South Dakota State in 9 games, 348 yards, 3 touchdowns. And I don't think he's getting as much buzz because he was playing at the FCS level. I mean, if this guy was at the Power 5 level, Division I, I mean, he might be a first-round pick. So I really like Tucker Kraft and would be thrilled if the Dolphins ended up with him in the 3rd round. Do you want to draft Tucker Kraft, the tight end from South Dakota State? Let me know down in the comments section. Type D for draft or type P for pass down in the comments. Dr. Dummy Betta, what's up? If Nathaniel Tank Dell is off the board, who's the next best receiver the Dolphins could draft in the 3rd round? I don't really want to draft a receiver at all. I mean, we really don't need a wide receiver. In terms of who could be available, maybe Michael Wilson, the wide receiver from Stanford. He's a guy that might be on the board. Jalen Reed, the wide receiver from Michigan State. He might be on the board. I really like Trey Palmer, the wide receiver from Nebraska. And then Jonathan Mingo, the wide receiver from Ole Miss. Someone else to watch there. I don't expect Tank Dell to be the pick for the Dolphins. He's a really good player, though. Alex LaFortune, what's up? How excited would you be if we can get, I'm sure you mean Devin White for a 4th. Oh, I'd be thrilled. I don't think that's possible, but if we get Devin White for a 4th, I mean, look, Chris Greer fleeced the Rams for Jalen Ramsey, a 3rd and Hunter Long, so maybe he'll do the same here to Tampa Bay. I don't think it's going to take a 1st to get Devin White, maybe not even a 2nd. Matthew Frost, I don't think we should draft a linebacker or receiver. I kind of agree. I think O-line and tight end and running back. I was Deuce Vaughn. What do you think? I really like this idea. Drafting Steve Avila in the 2nd round to be the left guard. Drafting Tucker Kraft to be the tight end in the 3rd round. Deuce Vaughn somehow falls to the 6th round. You take him in the 7th round, maybe take an offensive tackle just to see if anything is there. But I'm with you. I don't think linebacker or receiver, especially receiver, that does not need to be something the Dolphins prioritize here in this draft. Well, gentlemen, if you didn't already know, it's tax season here in the U.S., and Manscaped is making sure you have your paperwork done so your boys downstairs are having fun. I want to shout out Manscaped for sponsoring today's show. So the Performance Package 4.0 is the ultimate bundle you need to reinvent yourself and your confidence. What highlights the Performance Package 4.0 is the Lawnmower 4.0. It's going to come with the Performance. It's going to come in the Performance Package. Also going to come with the Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer and the Crop Preserver, Crop Reviver as well. A lot of goodies in the Performance Package. And it's on sale right now at manscaped.com, promo code Dolphins. Go to manscaped.com, use promo code Dolphins to get 20% off plus free shipping. Take advantage of the Performance Package. If you're a dude, it is a must to have the things that are in the Performance Package. Again, it's highlighted by the Lawnmower 4.0. That link, that promo code, going to be in the comments and the description of today's video. Kelly Hutchinson, thanks for the question. So Miami is not going to pursue DJ Fluker. Well, I wouldn't say that necessarily. DJ, I asked him in my interview with him last week, and if you haven't watched it, be sure to check that out. I asked him what teams have reached out to him, interested. He mentioned the Broncos, he mentioned the Raiders, he mentioned the Bears, some other teams. The Seahawks talked to him, but the Dolphins were not a team that he mentioned. So as of right now, no, but that could change, and I do believe Miami should give Fluker a shot. Kurt LaPlante, what's up, Kurt? Good to see you again. Chances of drafting or signing another inside linebacker. Pretty decent. I could see them doing that. I mean, you have David Long. You have Malik Reed. You feel pretty good about that linebacker room right now. I think Jerome Baker's solid, but I certainly would not rule it out. I think there's a better chance, though, that they draft one than sign one or trade for one, but we have mentioned Devin White as a possible trade target. Carter Reimer, thanks for the question. Would you trade for Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, or Austin Eckler, or draft someone? I don't think Saquon's going to get traded. I know that he's holding out, but I don't think he's going to get traded. Josh Jacobs, I definitely don't think he's going to get traded. Austin Eckler, yeah, I think that's possible, but I don't see the Dolphins trading for a running back because they re-signed all four of their running backs in free agency, which I disagreed with re-signing all four. If you are a Dolphins fan, be sure you're subscribed if you are a true Dolphins fan, because we have daily videos and weekly live shows. And if you've watched our mailbags and you're like, well, I want to get on one, well, then you got to join us for our live show on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and catch our next live show. Winnelan Witt, what do you think about the edge rusher from Appalachian State? Nick Hampton, right? Nick Hampton. I don't know much about him. Supposed to be maybe a mid to late day two guy. I don't really think, though, Winnelan, that the Dolphins need to draft an edge rusher that early. But I'm not against it later on in the draft. John Russell, unpopular opinion. The Fins could look to trade Wilkins if Jalen Carter slips. Well, Jalen Carter might fall. He's not going to fall to round 2. That's just not something that's going to happen, nor would the Dolphins trade up for him if he falls to late round 1, which is possible, but no. Christian Wilkins, the priority needs to be extending him, certainly not trading him. But Jalen Carter to Miami, obviously not realistic. Han Solo with an interesting question that we've talked about a little bit. Should we trade down? Yeah, I would not mind trading down. It's going to depend who's on the board in the second or third round. You could trade down from either one of those spots. But let's say you get to the second round and Avila's off the board, Bergeron's off the board, and Darnell Washington's off the board, and Laporte's off the board. Trade back a few spots. Add another draft pick. I'm all for adding draft capital when you have little draft capital. And if you have not watched our fan-led mock draft, be sure to check that out because we traded back 8 spots, still got a starting caliber right tackle, and then added a 4th-round pick where we took a tight end. So trading down, certainly not a bad idea. Should Miami trade down in this draft? Y for yes or N for no down in the comment section. Go down and let me know, should Miami trade down? Tommy Martin, what's up? Do you think there is any specific free agent that the Fins might target post-June 1 when we actually have some cap space? Good question. I still think there's going to be some notable names available. I mean, that's less than 2 months from now. I would say maybe an offensive lineman. I hate to say George Fant. I don't think he's going to be signed before then. I hope Cam Fleming isn't, so maybe we can make a run at him. But you are going to clear $13.6 million in cap space. I would say watch out for some inside linebackers as well. Zach Cunningham is a name to watch. Alex LaFortune, another question. We appreciate you. What do you think if we trade back on the 3rd pick for those 2 picks and use that 4th we picked to trade for Devin White? I mean, if we can trade a 4th-round pick for Devin White, yeah, I would do it 10 times out of 10. HPK, what's up? Do you think the Dolphins have a chance to get Saquon, given the recent news? No. This is just a strategy from Saquon to try to get a contract extension. He's holding out. I don't think he's going to get traded. If he gets traded, I don't think it's going to be the Dolphins because the Dolphins have a crowded running back room right now. I don't think they're going to want to pay top dollar for a running back, but they might draft a running back. I would not rule that out, but it's probably not going to happen in the 2nd round. Dr. Dummy Betta, if the Fins draft the TCU guard Steve Avila, would the Dolphins get back into the 2nd round to draft the Ohio State tackle to be the starting right tackle on the offensive line? I don't know. I'm assuming, let's see. I don't know. I don't think that they would spend that 2nd round pick and then trade back into the 2nd round. I just don't think that's something that's going to happen. But in terms of trading up for an offensive tackle, I would not mind that. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/Dolphins News. We're always going to have you covered with Dolphins news and rumors. Do some talking here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. How are we looking here? Who are we taking?
Allergies are terrible today, Lauder. All right. Round 6, Mikel Jones, the linebacker from Syracuse, currently leading that vote. All righty. We got about 3 minutes on the clock here. 3 minutes on the clock. Type 1 for Chris Rodriguez. We have not drafted a running back yet, which is a little bit surprising. Jason Taylor II, who is not the son of Dolphins legend Jason Taylor, but he's still one of the best players on the board here. Corey Trice, the corner from Purdue, type 3 or type 4 for Mikel Jones, the linebacker from Syracuse. And you can vote via Super Chat as well. $2 Super Chat for 2 votes, $5 for 10 votes, $50 Super Chat to trade the pick. We saw Kevin Fisher do that earlier. $100 Super Chat to make the pick. 2 minutes on the clock. Winland, I promise I'll put a defensive tackle for you in the 7th round. No question. Ibrahim still might be on the board in the 7th, Jeffrey. We'll see. I will check that. 90 seconds right now. It is razor thin. Rodriguez, Taylor, and Mikel Jones all have a chance to win this. I mean, right now, I think a $5 Super Chat would shift the voting here. Now, that's how close this is right now. Get your votes in. Jason Taylor, the second, is within 5%. But keep in mind, the Dolphins' safety room right now is pretty good. Javon Holland, Brandon Jones. You added Deshaun Elliott.
A $5 super chat, Jason Taylor's in the lead.
Jason
not even
Taylor
close.
is in the lead with the $5.
With a $5 super chat, Jason Taylor's in the lead.
Chris Rodriguez might have a shot. I think a $10 super chat, Chris Rodriguez is in the lead. Only 30 more seconds left to vote, though. 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds. Get your votes in right now. Mikel Jones at 34%. Chris Rodriguez at 24%. Jason Taylor the second at 29%. We only have 38 votes. We have double the people watching, though. Get your votes in. 2 seconds. 1. Is Mikel Jones, is he the pick? Is Mikel Jones the pick? Is Mikel Jones the pick? Mikel Jones from Syracuse University has been picked by the Dolphins here in the 6th round of our fan-led mock draft. Where the Vale of Onondaga meets the eastern sky, proudly stands our alma mater on her hilltop high. Flag we love, orange, go Qs. I went to Syracuse University, if you couldn't tell. I like that pick a lot. Mikel Jones is awesome, man. Linebacker from Syracuse is the pick for the Dolphins in round 6. Kurt LaPlante saying Chad Jones' cousin. Who? Mikel Jones. Okay. So we will take Mikel Jones here. In the 6th round, we have one more pick left. All right. Are you ready, producer Jack Lauderine? Okay. Let's go with Jonah Tavai. Tavai. Actually, let's go with this guy instead. Let's go with Jacob Slade, defensive tackle from Michigan State. Yes, Jacob Slade, defensive tackle from Michigan State. Jason Taylor the second is still on the board. Just keep him there. MJ Anderson. You're good. Edge rusher from Iowa State. That's what I'm playing. That's what I'm planning on doing. Let's see here. Let's add somebody fun. Oh, Max Duggan? Hold on. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Jake Moody is still on the board. Should we go Duggan or Moody? Okay. Okay. 7th round. The poll is out. Are we taking Jacob Slade, the defensive tackle from Michigan State, Jason Taylor II, the safety out of Oklahoma State. MJ Anderson, the edge rusher out of Iowa State. He was mocked to the Dolphins in ESPN's 7th round mock. Or are we taking Max Duggan, the quarterback from TCU?
Get your votes in, ladies and gentlemen.
That would be crazy. All right, Jacob Slade here. And I know Winland Witt and some others wanted a defensive tackle. So Jacob Slade at 50%. Jason Taylor II at 23%. MJ Anderson at 15%. Max Duggan is at 7%. Now, remember, the Dolphins drafted a quarterback in the 7th round last year. $2 super, 2 votes. $5 super for 10 votes. $50 super to trade the pick. $100 super to make the pick. Be sure to put the player's name in. Little under 5 minutes on the clock. 5 minutes on the clock. Get your votes in. Just 17 votes right now. Most people taking Jacob Slade, the defensive tackle from Michigan State. I know, Jeffrey. We're excited about the draft too, man. Andrew Wiggins playing in game 1. Winland, we took an offensive tackle a bit earlier, Wanya Morris from Oklahoma. Here's what we have done so far. Steve Avila, the guard from TCU. We took him in the 2nd round. Wanya Morris, the offensive tackle from Oklahoma. Got him in the 3rd round. Zach Kuntz, the tight end from Old Dominion. He was our 4th round pick. And you might be saying, well, how do we get a 4th round pick? We traded back. We added a 4th round pick. Mikel Jones, the linebacker from Syracuse. We had to pick at least one Syracuse guy. Got him in the 6th round. So now we are making our 7th round selection. It's either going to be Jacob Slade, Jason Taylor II, MJ Anderson, or Max Duggan. Only 11% for Duggan. See, it'd be the fun pick, but it would not be the smart pick. You got to draft a position of need, even in the 7th round. And you need a backup defensive tackle. No question about that. 3 minutes to go. Be sure to vote. Can we show our Super Chat menu again? Super Chat menu, $2 for 2 votes, $5 super for 10 votes, $50 super to trade the pick. We can still technically trade back. Maybe add 2 7th round picks. $100 super to make the pick. What if you want Max Duggan? You probably have to send a $100 super chat to make that happen. Or put in the player's name. Sherry May wants Jacob Slade. Sherry May wants Jacob Slade. Does anyone want Duggan? Duggan has 11%, but I haven't seen any comments about Max Duggan as we have 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. Get those votes in. Kurt LaPlante saying super chat like Mo. And be sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We bring you year-round coverage of the Miami Dolphins. Hit that subscribe button below. 1:45 left. Get those votes in. That's true, Inland. We got to take a defensive lineman because all of our defensive linemen are free agents next year. Zach Sealer's supposed to be a free agent. Christian Wilkins supposed to be a free agent. I think Raekwon's supposed to be a free agent. It's a good point. You need more guys on rookie deals just in general. You had 5 picks last year, 4 this year. Kurt LaPlante saying super chat like Mo. Get on the show. No super chats yet for round 7. Is Jacob Slade going to continue to pull away? The defensive tackle from Michigan State, under 1 minute to go. One minute to go. 40 seconds now. What is going to happen? Jason Taylor II at 21%. MJ Anderson 11%. Duggan no longer in solo last place. Tied for third with MJ Anderson at 11%. 20 seconds left. 20 seconds left. It's looking like Jacob Slade is going to be the pick. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jacob Slade is the pick for the Dolphins in the 7th round. Here are our mock draft results. Steve Avila, the TCU guard in round 2. Wanya Morris, the offensive tackle from Oklahoma in round 3. Zach Kuntz, the tight end from Old Dominion in round 4. Mikel Jones, the linebacker from Syracuse in round 6. Jacob Slade in round 7, the defensive tackle from Michigan State. Again, we added a 4th because we traded back a little bit. Grade the fan-led mock draft. That was a lot of fun. First time we've ever done that. Type A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the fan-led mock draft down in the comment section. Sherry May, I'm glad you had a good time. Grade the fan-led mock draft down in the comments. Kurt LaPlante, Winland Witt, Jeffrey, Winland again. Lorenzo, appreciate everyone for tuning in. Tommy Martin saying B-. Shiesty Miami saying B. Paul 5486 saying B. I think it's B, B+ range. Be sure to stay tuned tomorrow for that video. We're posting that video tomorrow showing the results from our fan-led mock draft. Until then, this has been your boy, Willie Fins. Appreciate y'all tuning in today.